Hi friends! I was tagged by a very sweet YouTuber, Wendy Valencia, to do the dumbest thing I ever spent money on video. Now she started this tag to celebrate 250 subscribers, and she is doing so great. She has a really good channel, and I swear I know sometimes she feels like she's like piddling along, but I didn't have that for like a year at least. You are doing so good. So her video, which will be linked down below, is awesome. And I cringed during it when she said how much she spent on this thing. I'll make you go watch it, but you will feel better about yourself because you never spent that much money on this particular thing. It was a very, very good story. Now I have kind of done something like this before. The Not So Ordinary Wife put out a collab call in June of 2015 to do a video called Money Stories, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And I revealed some of my worst and most embarrassing money stories then. But I got one more for you, and that is this. Now, I couldn't think of a singular item or an event or a trip or something like that I spent a ton of money on. My big debt is student loans. But, and I've mentioned this before, not all of the money that I took out went to tuition and room and board. After my first semester, I was told by some very helpful other students that you could take out more than you just needed for tuition and room and board to live off of, which seemed like a brilliant idea at the time, even though my food was paid for, my room and board was paid for, my classes were paid for. I could have, and I was working for like pocket money, so I could have done it without that, but I took out probably about $1,000 a semester to live off of, which has grown, especially immediately post-college, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of debt. Now, I went on kind of a search around my house because I remember what I ended up spending that money on, which I figured I'd take out every semester as kind of an emergency fund. Before I knew what an emergency fund was, it was just in case I need it, because it was a once a semester thing. It was you go in, you sign your paperwork, but you can't go back and ask for more. So it was like well, what if something happens this semester and I don't have any money? I'll take this out and I'll put it in a savings account just in case. And then you end up spending it on Taco Bell and home decor and sorority stuff, which is what I ended up spending on, roughly to the tune of about $1,000 a semester. So over college, excluding the first semester, that is that's $7,000 ish. That sounds about right, actually. Yeah, and some semesters it was a little more, I'm certain. And what I spent it on was just a bunch of crap. I spent it on eating out. I spent it on gifts and like sorority events. I was in a equate version of a sorority called the Social Club, called the Troubadours, and I spent so much money, especially once I got little sisters, and you want to spoil them and you want to get them all this stuff, so you end up getting them like paints and room decor, and I probably spent a couple $100 on those little 50-cent and the bigger ones, latex paints and brushes and all sorts of craft supplies and stuff like that during college, and on t-shirts and stuff for different events that we had for the sorority, and all sorts of craziness. And I went around my house and I was really looking for stuff that I still had that I knew I bought in college, probably with this student loan money that was supposed to go for books and tuition and stuff like that, but that I decided I needed right then to live beyond my means. And I couldn't find much stuff, which really made me sad. I knew I didn't have a lot of it left, but I couldn't find nearly any of it. So, but I did find an example of one. So I got a little, especially my sophomore year and up, I got a little obsessed with picture frames and decorating my own space. When I was growing up, I didn't really have control over my room. I wasn't allowed to decorate it. In fact, when I moved out at 16, my bedroom still had bare wallpaper. So I never really had the chance to express myself through like the design or the decor in my room. It was just what it was. It was what it was when I was born. And so I really went a little crazy. And that's not an excuse. It's just, I guess, what my mind was probably thinking. And so what I did was I bought probably about 60 frames, like Walmart frames and kind of prettiest frames like this. And I ripped the this thing off, whatever this is. And then I used putty and stuff and those A1 strips to attach them to the walls of my dorm, and I had these like huge ornate multi-wall picture frame displays, gallery walls, really, before gallery walls were a thing, with art, but it was with like pictures. It was pictures of my friends at college. It was pictures of, you know, stuff we did and just all sorts of stuff. But I spent hundreds of dollars on frames that I then destroyed. Now this is the only one I could find that was left, and I actually, because it's such a weird size and because I have this really cool picture of me and Sheila in there, who's my biological mom, and I just decided to leave. I kept this, and then after a while I found this this broke off of another frame that I had, and I hot glued it in, or tacky glued it in or something, and so I still use this one, even though it looks a little weird from the side and from the back. But this is the only one I could find. So, you know, $3 to $5 a piece on those frames that I then basically destroyed and put all over the walls, and those are all just in the trash now. It makes me feel awful. And I did a lot of stuff like that. I bought anything kind of decor-wise. I got a ton of these like hat boxes that I used. I still have a couple, and I kind of use them as memory boxes, and there's stuff in there from college and all. But I'd go to TJ Maxx and I'd buy like 3 or 4 of these at one go, and they were, you know, $8 to $10 a piece. I mean, obviously the food, I have nothing to show for it other than pounds. But I'd go to, we had a really good Dirt Cheap in Columbus, and I'd go there all the time, and I'd buy bedding. I don't know why I was so obsessed with bedding, but I had like 6 different sets of sheets, and half of them like were just a bottom sheet or just the top sheet, or pillowcases, and none of it matched together. I had like 3 comforters, and I had like duvet covers, and I just got obsessed with, I don't know, somehow having like a really cute dorm room and having all these options and choices when it was just so much stuff that I didn't need or want really. None of it matched. But because it was at Dirt Cheap, I could usually, you know, it was fairly cheap. A lot of it was like under $20, under $10, but none of it went together, and none of it made me happy, I guess, is what I kept expecting it to do. And so I'd buy throw pillows and stuff, and none of it matched together. I had no idea how to get it to be cohesive. But yeah, I bought a ton of stuff. I bought a ton of gifts. I bought a ton of home decor. I bought a ton of bedding. I don't know why I was so obsessed with bedding. I still don't get it. I have 2 sets of sheets now, and this bedspread that I did get at Dirt Cheap, but I got it a couple of years ago, and I've used it pretty much all the time since then. Now, if it does get too hot for that, I do just have a quilt that I got at a yard sale that I use when it's a little hotter. But yeah, one set of things is fine. I don't know why I didn't get that. And if you only have one set of things, you can even get like a little bit nicer stuff. I had like 5 shower curtains. You can only use 1 shower curtain at a time. Like the fabric kind, the pattern, I don't get me. But yeah, you know, lamps that didn't match, or things that were even just like a little bit broken. And I was just like, yeah, that's such a good deal. I was such a consumer. And so I wasted all this money every semester on that stuff. And I guess it all seemed like I needed it in my life at the time, but I was still just trying to figure stuff out, and it's biting me in the butt now. Because honestly, I've got $14,000 left in debt. And if that was even $7,000 less, good Lord, And just thinking about all the interest that's accrued, I'd probably be pretty close to being debt free right now if I didn't take out those loans to live off of. So there you go. Wendy, I think she said she spent, it was above $5,000. It was less than $10,000. And yeah, my mistake is kind of in that category too. At least she's got pictures from the thing that she did. I don't have anything left really to show for it. So yeah, I learned a lot from that, and I will never do that again. Borrow for lifestyle purposes, especially with no vision. I mean, not at all, but the fact that I had no vision as to what I was doing at the time just makes me sad. But yeah, it was keeping up with the Joneses. It was keeping up with the girls down the hall that had, kind of been in training interior designers their whole lives, and they had really cute clothes and really cute dorms, and I was trying to keep up with them, and I couldn't. And I didn't need to. My friends didn't care about that. They really didn't. And I was amassing stuff for no apparent reason. So that is my dumbest money move, is borrowing money at 6.8% interest for 4 years in a row for something I have nothing to show for just junk. So yeah. There it is. Since this is a tag video, I tagged Jessica Ashley, the former Mrs. Jones, and the Not So Ordinary Wife, since Not So Ordinary Wife was the one that originally did the Money Stories collab, and Christy and Jessica, just because I love them. Though of course I love Jamie too. So I hope you guys will pick up this tag, and that you can think of something really dumb that you spent your money on. I'm sure you can. And I will see y'all soon. Congratulations, Wendy, on your 250 subscribers, and thank you for being a part of this YouTube community with me. You make it a little brighter and shinier and happier. See you soon.